Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today on an amazing episode of Holding Court with the Empress of WeHo. I'm joined here with my amazing guests, Elizabeth and Tyler.
Hello.
And we want to thank especially to our sponsors here at GayLifeLA.com and also White Rabbit Partners, who are the proud sponsors for Clean Treatment Centers as well, and why we have this amazing studio. So we're going to get right into it and talk a little bit about Tyler and Elizabeth and kind of how they transitioned here from their places on the east side of the country to LA. Their modeling, acting, performing, and different aspects of their careers, and then going into a little bit of a topic about how gay should gay bars be, and we'll get to that a little bit later. So first of all, hi guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So excited. So both of you are both originally from the, not necessarily East Coast, but the East Coast side.
Northwest Portland, Oregon.
You're from Oregon, you're from Tampa originally. Yeah. And so, Tyler, for you, growing up in Portland, was it Milwaukee?
Yeah, Milwaukee, Oregon.
Milwaukee, Oregon, right. So you went there, you graduated high school, and then what kind of inspired you to come down to LA?
Well, when I was in the closet, I first wanted to move to San Francisco and live a separate life. But then once I did come out of the closet, I actually have been studying film and television production for like 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to go to the best film school that I could find, and LA is the place to be for that.
Well, just real quick, because I saw your litany of places you've been for education. You studied bartending at National Bartending School, television video production at Santa Monica College, film at Columbia College Hollywood, physical education at Portland Community College, and advertising at the Art Institute of Portland.
Yeah.
How the hell did you manage it all?
A lot of work, lack of sleep, and just dedication, and also just putting yourself first before anything else and making sure that you're doing something, keeping busy. I feel like being busy is the biggest reward you can give yourself, because a body in motion stays in motion.
Right.
If you start sleeping in and like becoming lazy, it just kind of takes over your whole being. And so I think the more you overdo, you don't want to overdo it, but
right.
If you put yourself on a set schedule and you keep to it and just train hard, the reward is priceless.
Yeah. And then for you, Elizabeth, you were in Tampa almost all the way through high school, and then you went to Ithaca, New York.
Yeah.
And then you were there and graduated, and then from what point there did you move?
I went to New York City when I was 17 for college.
Got it.
Right, where I went and I studied acting there. And then I was out there for a couple years, and then I moved to LA 4 years ago from New York.
And then was it both for either of you, was it either acting or modeling? Like, what really inspired you guys to just like say, you know what, screw it, I want to come out here, I want to be not necessarily a star, but more I want to kind of expand my acting and modeling horizons? Elizabeth?
For me, it wasn't even really about what I wanted to do, is what I knew I didn't want to do, which was stay in a very small town environment.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get out and like be able to experience things, which is why I went to New York and then to LA. But acting was my main passion.
And then for you, Tyler, was it acting or modeling that was really your main passion?
Well, my main passion was film and television production school, and my mom told me if I don't move to a four-year college outside of Oregon, she won't support me because she wants me to get out there. She didn't want me to get stuck in Milwaukee, aka Milwaukee. So I was like, when I went down there though, I kept finding myself being pushed in front of the camera instead of behind. And then when I booked a movie role for a superhero, it was like this amazing high of being on set and acting that was such a turn on to me that I wanted to pursue that. And everything that I learned behind the camera made me a better actor and model in front. And modeling and acting has been amazing for me down here.
Yeah.
I've been having the time of my life, just enjoying it.
Yeah.
And still figuring out what I want to do with my life. But in the meantime, I'm having a blast.
Yeah, and I was able to snag your old bio from Model Mayhem of how you wanted to be like a music video director. You moved from Portland to LA for school. You were at Columbia at the time in Hollywood. And you loved California because you had so many fun things to do. And we actually have...
Put that on your Tinder, too.
Right.
Oh, God.
I mean, I searched it all. I got his Grindr, his Scruff, his Tinder. His
on MySpace. It's still up there somewhere.
It's still up there somewhere. But we actually, for everyone to view on at home, we have a nice little picture of Tyler from his Model Mayhem. Tomas, if you want to put that up.
Oh.
This is the one we have. Which, honestly, it's the same... little you went from twink to twunk, which I love.
Thank you.
And it was just kind of like your whole career with that. It was a very big career. We have another one that we'll put up there of a collage of a lot of your photos for that, which you've sung before me.
Ooh.
But I mean, you've gotten a lot of really cool gigs out here. Kind of what's been your motivation through it all for doing modeling? Because it's a hard thing to do.
It is totally. But what's most important in LA is about the connections you make. It's not all about what you know, but it's mainly about who you know and your first impressions when you meet people and you talk to people. No matter, you don't know who you're talking to, so always put your best foot forward.
Right, exactly.
Always dress to impress. Always have a smile on your face, and always look for the good in things. And people will be drawn towards you and attracted to that type of energy, work ethic. And by making friends and putting yourself out there. When I went to Columbia College, the first thing they said was, okay, on your days off, get out of Tarzana, go to clubs, make friends, like go to parties, and make connections that will last a lifetime.
Well, put yourself out there. That's really the main thing for sure around here.
The world works about, like, if somebody's looking for a job, they ask their friend, who should I hire? And like, you should hire my friend who's really good at that.
Right, exactly.
So it's always about, you know, being the best version of yourself 100% of the time, all the time. And
definitely
that's just
about that.
Healthy way to live.
And then we have another one as well, and we're going to go to you, Liz. We have one for her, the collage of Liz, with all her acting and like model. And it's like, I mean, girl sexy, the show. And it's like just a great kind of like, what was your experience doing modeling and putting yourself out like there as a woman? Because it's a very tough industry where men, it kind of has a little bit more like fluidity, but I feel women, it's they expect very much from you. They put you in a very big kind of box right off the bat. So how did that work for you doing the modeling career?
I got into it because my roommate, who I've lived with for almost 7 years, she is like a 5'10" gorgeous fitness model, very successful. And she had a lot of photographer friends, and I just would make friends with them, and they'd want to shoot. People who are really large, like huge now, especially on Instagram and things like that. So I kind of fell into it, and I kind of had the opposite experience of you, where I started kind of in front of the camera and acting and, you know, in modeling and stuff like that, and now I really like doing photography, and I really like being behind the camera.
Got it.
So I think you have to love one and kind of love the other.
Yeah.
And it, like you said, it makes you so much better in the other aspects. So now I'm kind of doing more behind the camera work.
Okay.
But I really love both.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's honestly, it's really a kind of a fun experience. I've known lots of people that have started out and, like you said, in front of the camera and gone to like, they just love the art of it all and getting to see how people kind of, it's almost like bearing your soul a little bit and exposing yourself in a very kind of vulnerable way to that. But for you, just also recently, you just had a launch for What Happens at the Abbey. It was the reality show on Bravo. And we have a picture of that where we have you from the red carpet up there. So, but it was a really great show. I mean, it was a very intense show, but the great thing that we had talked about before was the fact that it showed a very broad spectrum of sexuality, of relationships, of individuals. The aspect that you had ended up meeting a girl that was your friend, that your coworker as well, but then you guys developed a relationship from that where she wasn't quite sure if she was a lesbian or not. You were gold star lesbian, except for a few things, a few times. Like the one time I may have done something like that. So how was that experience doing reality? Because I heard a lot of people talk. My guest I had last week did a few reality shows, and he said it's very telling on a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff you watch and you're like, they kind of took that out of context a little bit. They made me seem a little bit crazier here than here, or I mean, I didn't mean it that way, but they made the portrayal that way. So kind of how seeing it after the whole season being over with, what was your kind of overall take back from it?
I have a much better understanding about reality TV and how it works. It's definitely a machine. It's definitely a process, and of course it's edited. And it's hard because, you know, you do have to own everything that you say, and you have to own your crazy moments. I think the frustrating thing that can come from it is when they don't show your humanity. I think more so than it being taken out of context, because that's to be expected. It's when, you know, for myself, I have a lot of crazy like moments, like very loud, aggressive moments. But there's a lot of moments where I'm very normal, or I'm, as a person, I'm quite funny and like sarcastic, and those moments didn't really make it. Whereas someone like Lawrence, that was a lot of his edit, was like very sarcastic and like someone you really found lovable, and you didn't get to see any of his crazy moments that he had. So you kind of get to see only what's shown to you, and we're not in charge of what's shown to you.
Exactly.
Which is the frustrating part of the whole thing.
I can imagine.
That's it. That's what makes you go a little crazy.
Well, and I mean, I love one of your your quotes you have
I
on there. That is, I'm not the kind of person you should have on speaker.
Yeah.
Which I love. But again, it just, from what I took from it, and also from meeting you and getting to know you a little bit more, I mean, you're just a very passionate person.
Right.
Period. You say what you mean. You mean what you say. You no bullshit kind of person.
Right.
And if someone pisses you off, you're going to let them have it. And it's, quite frankly, it's refreshing with people like that. I feel it's a very East Coast kind of personality. Where it's just like,
absolutely.
Right up to your face. And kind of did you find yourself filtering yourself at times on set, or were you just kind of like, screw it, it's just what it is?
I went in saying that I'm not going to filter because my biggest fear was to filter and then have it be edited in a way that I couldn't own.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where at least if I did it and I knew, and everyone in the cast, everyone in production, they really knew what happened, at least I could own that. But filtering, I also feel like whenever I feel like you can always see it.
Yeah.
When someone's being a little contrived or a little fake,
you
can just see it happen, and it just, I feel like it always just ends up not making sense because someone else will call you out for it, and then it just.
Well, then it's like, then you have to kind of step back a little bit, and you try to like backpedal, and you're like, wait, I didn't quite mean it, and then you just look like a freaking psychopath.
Right. Yeah.
So
at least
really
I just look passionate instead of maybe I look a little psychotic.
It's always best to just be truthful and be and get the real side of you out, and that's what people fall in love with.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sure. So you guys actually both work here in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
You guys are both bartenders.
I'm a bottle service.
Bottle service, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, VIP bottle service. And the whole experience of working in the hospitality industry. I mean, I know how intense it is here in West Hollywood. West Hollywood is 26% hospitality for a 1.9 square mile city.
That's
I mean,
insane.
it is packed. And honestly, that's where the most of our revenue comes for the city, which a lot of people might not realize is we just have so many tourists that come through here, so many people that come to see celebrities, places like Pump, or Lisa Vanderpump, or other places that are, like, again, what happens at the Abbey, and other different stuff around, like on Sunset. So it's just a very packed community of things that are happening, going on, and plus hospitality is a big part of that. For the both of you, as a very charged industry, how do you guys feel from when you first started working in the community? How much do you feel it's shifted over the kind of years where a lot of the people are saying that it's moving out of town, like the gay bar scene is moving downtown, it's moving to Silver Lake, it's moving to Long Beach. From your perspective, do you see a lot of that, or do you see an influx of other people coming in from around part in LA? Tyler, what's your kind of perspective working at, first of all, Here Lounge and then Flaming Saddles right now?
Well, absolutely that there is a shift in West Hollywood, especially in the large clubs like the Abbey and even my bar, Flaming Saddles. They're trying to make it an everybody bar with a gay agenda, and it's very welcoming to help with revenue, because some of the most successful bars like the Abbey let everybody come in, but also it kind of turns off the locals because they want to go to a gay bar where their friends will be and not overwhelmed by tourists. And Silver Lake is an amazing chill version of West Hollywood where it's just like all gays. But I think that it's very important to include our allies and have diversity in West Hollywood, because it shows that we are willing to accept all kinds of people and that we're open arms with love. But we also have our separate bars like Mickey's and Revolver, who are like all gay, and
very
same
gay,
with
very gay.
And then you got Bar 10, and that's where like the up and coming inspiring singers and actors go to hang out, and there's tons of gays there. And it's all about finding your place and knowing where your home is in WeHo. I'm all for diversity and making it not just a gay bar, but in everything bar.
Right.
But
and that's the great thing. Well, and that's the great thing about West Hollywood as a whole, and kind of the greater community in the area. It's all about be you, express you, be happy with who you are, and have fun doing it. And Liz, for you, I mean, working at the Abbey and the Chapel, David has done an amazing job of doing that diversity, playing that atmosphere of we love you as you are, come in and basically be family. What's been your whole experience overall working at that and kind of seeing the kaleidoscope of individuals that come in through that?
I think the Abbey is a little different than the rest of the bars kind of on Santa Monica Boulevard, because it is such a large, just in space wise,
for sure.
It can handle a lot more, and it's so well known throughout the country as a place that for bachelorette parties and things like that. And so I know David's really tried over the years to kind of keep it a gay bar. And now it's definitely welcoming. I love that anyone can feel welcome, and that's the whole vision of the Abbey. But as like a lesbian, there's such a small window for you to find like a lesbian night or a lesbian anything.
Exactly.
It's Boys Town. Like, you guys really,
it is.
Really have anywhere.
And even so, it's, you know, like even so Wednesday night tonight, I'm going to work at the chapel, work for Altar Girl, and I'm seeing that there are more kind of straight people coming in and men coming in, which is fine, but it's when you get such a little avenue to be around other people that are like-minded, you kind of do just want to be those people.
I know, and it gets diluted by, you know, the straight agenda, which also, like, you know, kind of takes away the power and, like, the safe space of, like, how, you know, I might see, like, a whole bunch of straight guys coming in to try to take advantage of drunk, wasted girls who are bisexual, you know, in their safe zone, you know. Like, when Here Lounge was taken over by the chapel, a lot of people were really upset because it was such a icon local gay bar that's been around forever, and then we were afraid it was going to turn into another Abbey. And that's what I feel like most locals are afraid about, like big bars or just losing very important gay bars. Like what you said, you have a really small section of the week that you get to spend time with your girls at the chapel, and that's your only night. And when all of a sudden it's half guys that are straight looking to pick up some chicks, it's like very frustrating. I totally understand that.
And also the fact that, I mean, like you were telling me that the Abbey doesn't have a lesbian night anymore. They used to have that.
Now,
and it's
You'll
also
find lesbians at Flaming Saddles, that's for sure, though.
You will. You will. Well, and that's the thing is, unfortunately, and I mean, the majority of bars in West Hollywood are very much like that, and I feel the majority of bars across the greater Los Angeles area are like that. Lesbians don't really have, quite frankly, anymore, a place to call their bar. We have gay bars out the frickin' wazoo. That is a given.
Filled with gay men.
Filled with gay men.
Like a lot of gay men go there.
But for you, like, what do you feel is, again, not to stereotype too much, but I mean, lesbians aren't very much the go out and party all night and be out all night. They really they just want to go out and have a good time, hang out with their girlfriends, and it kind of just be fun. What do you feel is lacking in that area here in the community and the greater LA community for lesbians?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, but I do know that there are certain groups of women that have come together that are building like nights, and they're doing like Los Globos and Bardot, and they have like Milk Lemonade is a great one that does, you know, monthly nights.
Sorry, that's an Amy Schumer song that I saw that she did.
I
freaking love that. Sorry, it just made me giggle when I think of it. Exactly. So for
I don't
you,
know about that. But so they're definitely, and I think that might be more the way that it's going, is maybe hopping around, doing different things, having different nights that are dedicated and ran by lesbians.
Right.
Because I think it's a different thing when you're having a lesbian night at a gay bar.
Right.
I don't know if it still has like the dedication to it, and I don't know why. But I mean, obviously there's a reason that lesbian bars aren't working. And it's something to do with either the lesbian community doesn't spend as much money on drinks, they don't go out for the same amount of hours. They go to one bar, then they go to another. They do dinner, and then drink somewhere else. I mean, I don't know what exactly the stats are on that, but there's a reason, because obviously it's been attempted before.
Right.
But I do know that there's things that are trying to happen, and there are places to go, but this is a Los Angeles, too. And the fact that there's only, like, 2 lesbian nights, like, a month or a week, I can't imagine if you're in somewhere like Ohio or back in Tampa, where I'm from, which is a smaller community. Like, I don't know where people go to feel safe. Because when I first moved here and I didn't know anybody, I went to the Abbey every Wednesday for lesbian night, and that's how I made most of my friends that I currently have.
And you're right. I mean, it's the dedicated space, really, is where it is where do they feel comfortable, where do they find their community. And it's the hard thing about the greater LGBT community as a whole is we're a bunch of minorities with minorities inside a lot of more minorities, and so it gets very segmented very quickly. And even though we try as much as we can to be very inclusive and just have everyone together, like you said, I want to be where my peoples are at. I want to have fun with my girls, hang fun with my boys, have fun with just whatever, and to feel that security. And I do appreciate what a lot of the bars do here in WeHo, because they are very concerned about making sure that we kind of adhere to everyone and kind of give everyone a space. But like, I know a big problem a lot of people are having with the transgender community is, how do we give them a safe space other than just, again, the standard bars that are around here? How do we show them that they're the ones we want to have come and experience what we're experiencing and feel safe? And it's a very hard topic to deal with. For both of you being so involved with bartending and everything that, I'd love to get your opinions on GayLifeLA.com put out an article just a week ago about how gay should gay bars be, and this kind of comes on the heels of a lot of bars adhering to like just letting people come in, which is awesome, and adhering to more of a straight kind of pull, like you said, Tyler, for the income. But again, like the Abbey does, giving kind of everyone a place to come and have fun, because again, we don't want to be completely cut off from the rest of the community and the rest of the world, because there's still an LGBTAQI7 squared something. I lost track. But there's still our allies. And what do you guys feel is like a gay bar, when you think of a gay bar, having too many straight women there, too many straight men and a lesbian? Like, how do you guys feel that? Is that like imposing on it? Does it like kind of mess it up? Like, how gay does it need to be a gay bar? Tyler, we'll go with you.
Well, okay, so I just kind of came to this realization about why straight girls like to come to gay bars to party, because they feel safe and they feel like it's an environment that they can express themselves and have fun. And at first, I didn't like believe it. I didn't like the idea of them, coming to our sacred bars just to get white girl wasted and like walking around barefoot. But then like
Jesus,
the thing,
the
thing is like I actually, when I travel with my friends and we go out like on a birthday thing and we go to straight clubs, I have this safe feeling, because I can't get wasted in West Hollywood ever.
Right.
Like if I did, like it would show up on WeHo Confidential the next day, and everybody be talking about it. And even when I travel to White Party or Matinee or Vegas, I still have to behave no matter what. But if I go out for someone's birthday party, we usually go to a straight club, and because it's cool, then there's a cool DJ that we like, and we can get trashed, and we can just laugh and have the time of our lives, feel safe, and not worry about making a fool of ourselves in front of a really hot guy, and or anybody trying to flirt with us, because we're safe with our boyfriends or whatever. And I think that how gays bars have to be, I think we all have to pick and choose which bars we want, because we have Foo Bar as a strip club. I think we need more strip clubs in West Hollywood.
I kind of agree with you.
I think that they need to be open till 6 or 7 in the morning, strip clubs. And but then I also don't think West Hollywood is a place for kids, so I think we can amp up the gay and make it more fun and go a little more crazy and like have go-go dancers on the streets with their butts hanging out and just like go nuts. I think we should make this the gayest place on earth. Yeah, West Hollywood, go big or go home.
Right. And then for you, Liz, like for having a safe space for lesbians, but also just having straight individuals come in to like the Abbey and Chapel, it's like, how far is too far, and how gay should it really stay, and kind of what's your opinion on that?
God, it's so hard. Yeah. It's so hard, because the Abbey is one of those places where you can go on like a Sunday. Like if you go to Sunday Funny at Chapel, it's a lot of gay men. Yeah. It gay
feels
men
just like
heavy.
Lounge.
Yeah.
And then you can go to the Abbey on a Friday night, and you have no idea who's gay, straight, trans, anything.
Right.
So working at both places, it's nice to kind of have both. But I remember right after the show came out, we had an influx of straight women.
I remember. Oh my freaking gosh, I remember going there.
Like the week after the premiere, it was so many straight women. And I was I was VIP hosting that night, and I was just like, well, where'd they all come from? I'm at E! Though. It's, one of those channels, a lot of straight women watch it. It's heavy demographic, which is great for income and for things like that. But it was, the whole staff kind of took notice. And since it's kind of gone back to the people that feel, and I think a lot of people kind of stayed away, the locals, because they didn't want to be a part of that for that
they didn't want to deal with the crazy.
Just for that 1 week or so, right? But I think I don't really know. I think it's having like a really open staff. I think having a gay owner makes it, and I think, like you said, the environment that the club itself puts forth, I think is more important than the actual people that are coming in.
Yeah, and staff is everything.
Oh, for sure.
I will go to a bar just because I know the bartender, because I want to give him my money.
Right.
I want to see him.
I want to support them. I want to support my friends. I want to support the people that make my atmosphere and environment. And I 100% agree on that, because I mean, my partner and I are around here in our bars so often, and the reason we get along with what we do, and especially places that you have gay and straight workers, you have people of all shapes, sizes, and colors around that are staff. And the fact that you guys do so well as bars, because everyone is like, we support you, we're here to have fun, we just love you guys, don't be freaks, but like come on and like have fun. And that's like the hard thing, because a lot of how this story came about was the fact that kind of from the Abbey of all these kind of bridal parties showing up, and these getting white girl wasted, like all these women coming in and really just kind of putting a damper on it, because they're they're molesting our go-go's without tipping them.
Which David is still very.
I love what he did. I love what he did when he said no bachelorette parties.
Until gay marriage.
I like tip my hat to that. That was super.
I love that.
There's no tiaras, no penis balloons
you can't
allowed.
rub it in their face.
He does his best to try to rein them in. As much as he can.
And I know it's hard. I mean, you can only control the public so much, but still, it's like. I mean, that's where a lot of people were getting upset, and especially in an older gay community where you're used to it being back in the early 80s and everything like that. It was gay. In West Hollywood, it was gay bars, and it was gay bars. It was you had a couple lesbian bars on the east side. I think there was like 3. They're not there anymore, obviously, but it was the lesbian bars were lesbian bars, gay bars were gay bars, and the straight bars were on Sunset. And it was like, that's kind of how the community broke up a little bit.
Yeah. You know, what I think had happened was, I think it was 2 years ago when the ABC shut down Here Lounge and Mickey's for lewd conduct because we had dancers who were naked or not 100% naked, but had like their ass cracks out or whatever.
Yeah.
And shut us both down for a month. I know Mickey's tried to fight it for 2 years.
They
ended up losing on October. And then they reopened on Halloween Day, thank God.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of like set shivers down every bar's backs that we need to be more proper gays and we have to dress up more and we can't be all naked all the time and even at the Abbey we're not allowed to take our shirts off, which I mean I approved for some people, but but still I think that we're trying to class it up. But like if you think about it, women are subjectified to being sexual everywhere else around the world, bottle service with girls wearing nothing but bikini outfits and stuff. But here in WeHo, we have to behave and not go too far because there's an ill factor to the straight community because ABC runs all of California.
Well, and and I can with ABC and I've worked with them before on some stuff when I used to work for the West Hollywood Chamber. They have some really archaic language in their rules and their kind of dialects of what they have for what you're allowed and not allowed to do, and it brings in stuff like morality on bartenders, on dancers, and on things like that where people are like. Has nothing to do with being moral. Has nothing to do with being amoral. It's just okay if you want people to be decent because of health code violations. Fine, do that. But
moral opinion.
And that was the issue with Here Lounge and with Mickey's. And actually, David almost had this issue with a couple go-go dancers at the Abbey, where luckily he got it corrected quickly. But still, it's a lot of these things. ABC does crack down very hard on the community with that. And it's like, why can't you just let us express who we are? And I feel like, the girls we have around here are very good at being, they're sexy as hell, but, I've seen your guys' outfits. It's still fun, it's flirty, but it's appropriate. And the same thing, it's still like, it's not like you're sitting there like pasties out in a burlesque show. Right. Which I wouldn't mind. I love a good burlesque.
Love to go.
I love a good burlesque. One of those guys. But it's like, and it's the thing is like when you go, you know what to expect. And quite frankly, for people to be weird about that is irritating.
Especially when you know where you are. You're in West Hollywood. A, don't take your kids down Santa Monica Boulevard on a Saturday night. Or, and it's like, this is an adult place. It's kind of like gay New Orleans.
It is.
Right, like Bourbon Street.
Yeah. People are flashing their titties for beats. Like, we're basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And to censor gay people in their own town, in their own home, kind of sucks. And I think when we start, acting all, proper and clean, that's when a lot of straight people start coming in because they're not, they're like, oh, it's okay, it's a gay bar, but it's, totally chill. But, back in the day, Here Lounge, everybody was shirtless and in booty shorts walking around. Straight people were like, no, I'm good. I'll go to the Abbey. We'll go next door, and that's fine. But I still think that we need to have the freedom to express ourselves in the gay community.
And I think that all ties down perfectly to how gay should gay bar be. I think that if straight people want to come in to a gay bar, I think they have to understand that it's going to be a gay bar.
Don't be mad,
There's going to be, men with little Speedos on that are going to probably talk to you. They might not be hitting on you, but the gay community in general is very friendly, very talkative, very touchy. These are just parts of being part of this community, and I think if you're entering into that community, then you're kind of checking off the box that those things are okay.
Know where you're going. Exactly.
Just know what you're getting yourself into.
Well, and you guys are 100% right on the fact that it's like we don't always have one aspect of the entire community that is always crazy. It's you can go on a Sunday and it'd be a lot of fun and classy. You can go somewhere else and it'd be trashy as hell. You can go down the street to Foo Bar and it's a freaking strip show. You can go anywhere you want to. God. I love. Actually, at first I thought that was the craziest thing I'd ever heard of. Then I went. It was so much much fun.
Yeah.
It's nasty, dirty, gross, and they bleach the place every morning. But
it is a good plug tonight.
It is right. I have a lot of my friends that are go-go's that dance there, and it's a fun environment. But you're right. Know your audience, know where you're going, and don't be surprised, because quite frankly, shit happens, people. But so for overall, like, where do you guys kind of see the future of, again, not just West Hollywood, but the kind of the LGBT community as it starts expanding out to the greater Los Angeles area, to these places like Long Beach, like Silver Lake, like the East Side, like downtown? Where do you guys kind of see? Do you think there's going to be a big push out towards those communities from kind of centrally in West Hollywood where it's typically been, or do you think it's just going to kind of just expand and keep expanding? Liz, what about you?
I think it's going to expand and keep expanding because I think that it's becoming so normal to be gay.
Right.
It's just it's a part of life now, and it's not necessarily something that feel shame about.
Right.
So I think it's just going to expand. But I do think that Boys Town, WeHo will be here for a very long time.
Right.
I don't think that that's going to go down. I think this is a mecca. I think that if you're coming to LA and you're gay, this is the place that you want to be, that you want to feel safe, that you're going to meet the most people.
Right.
It's like it's also just crazy community. The sense of community is
for sure.
that you're not going to find in Silver Lake or East Los Angeles or other places. You can have a great gay night, a great gay bar, but it's not going to be he's not going to get drunk and be on WeHo Confidential in Silver Lake.
No.
And this is like this.
There.
Yeah.
Because no one knows him, or so he thinks.
But even I'm sure between the two of you, you probably know every bartender from La Cienega to Robertson.
Yeah.
No.
We will never confirm nor deny.
But it's such a great community aspect.
It is.
You're
for sure
not,
right. And then for you, Tyler, what do you think?
I think that definitely WeHo is going to be expanding, and I'm just like predicting the future right now that there will be a high-speed rail train from the airport to WeHo, and also probably to Silver Lake and to the beach. Hopefully they put in some kind of subway station, also to downtown LA.
Yeah.
That way we can commute to West Hollywood, because right now if you're a gay man and you want to visit the gayest place on the West Coast, you have to go from LAX to a flyaway bus to Union Station to take a train to get over to here to take a Uber to get to WeHo, then to get to the hotel, and it's this whole process, and I think that's really killing us a little bit on that aspect. And also, I think the law passed that we're going to be open till 4 a.m. I think. Or it's in the process.
So with that,
when that happens, that's going to be a game changer.
And here's
tourists from all over the world.
Here's the rub with that one. So basically, the overall ordinance that would be allowed, that's statewide, would allow the entire state to have the ability to go to 4 a.m. However, cities can individually choose to keep it at 2, keep it at midnight, keep it at 4, whatever they want to do. So regardless of whether the state does it and approves it, the city still may not allow it.
I have no doubt in my mind.
The city of West Hollywood is already, there's the city council members that are kind of.
Flaming Saddles already has a permit. We're ready.
Well, you guys were already licensed for after hours too, as well. So you guys were grandfathered in when it was 11.
Yep.
So and I feel like Abby's may have done after hours before something back in the day.
I think that they're really trying to speed up the application process to get to that 4 a.m.
And
I'm not really sure.
I know they want it for sure, and quite frankly,
everybody wants it.
For
They're
sure.
fighting for that.
And not just the bars too, also the businesses that are non-alcohol serving that want to be able to capture those restaurants or those little places like Greenwich Pizza or like Z Pizza or Five Guys, being able to catch that extra business as they leave off for the night. It's definitely a game changer, but fingers crossed. And I know our city's been working hard on it. Our city council's been discussing it a lot and really kind of taking into account how to potentially do this. I was on a task force to work with public safety for communities, and the big topic was the bar and the nightlife scene, and how do we, when we have people leave, how do we disseminate that? How do we get them off that? So it's things like that. It's in the process. Things have been put forth to city council. It's in the works. It's just right now state passing, city passing, and then us figuring out all the logistics of it all for our community. So,
and the topic of safety, the fact that the bars are open up later allows people to pace themselves longer.
Definitely.
And also has a safe place to sober up, to get food. And from a bartender's aspect, like not everybody bartends in a really nice neighborhood like West Hollywood.
Right.
Other bartenders in downtown LA and rougher neighborhoods, when they leave the bar at 3 in the morning, they're walking ATM machines and they're wearing all black. They definitely look like bartenders.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know you're
And in bartending school, they taught me always hold a big ass knife, carry a knife whenever you leave, or a taser or something, pepper spray, especially if you're a female.
Yeah.
And
I can only imagine
it's a danger zone, you know. And they always say leave in groups. We all go to one car and then we drive ourselves to the next car and then to the next car until everybody is safe and accounted for.
Yeah.
And if the bars are open till 4, we're probably going to leave the bar at 5 or 6, and that's when people are doing their morning commute somewhere. You've got morning joggers, you've got the sun is up, the birds
more traffic.
More traffic, much safer for all the bartenders in the industry.
Well, and I think, I mean, the big topic was definitely safety for people leaving and that are working there, people in the neighborhoods that are having individuals that are basically drunk off their ass.
And nobody drives anymore. We got Uber.
We got Uber, we got the pickup line, we got the city line, we got all this different stuff. But also, you're right, the aspect of being in groups, being safe. We've had issues in West Hollywood before, people being attacked and mugged, and we just, I mean, no city's ever 100% safe, unfortunately. It's just the nature of being where you are in a big community. But yeah, definitely the goal is to make sure that we do that. Plus, when you have, God knows how many people that are out and about on a given night, in the community that just leave all at once at 2 a.m.
Rush them all out. Everybody get out. They're all drunk and they're all like trying to tie one last shot.
It's like it's like Pride opened up for 5 hours. It's just it's nuts. And so trying to disseminate, like you said, stagger it, sober up a little bit, go here, walk somewhere.
You have more time. You have time. You're safe with our bar. We're not going to just kick you out.
Well, there's hoping for the future. I know we got great things coming up, and thank you guys so much for being on here. We're so excited to have you both. And if you ever want to check them out, you can visit Elizabeth at the chapel. You can see her tonight.
Yeah, I'll be there.
It was for what girl?
Altar Girl.
Altar Girl. Yeah. There it is. And you can always check her out there. She's usually there during the week at Abbey or Chapel.
Yeah, I'm always there.
Tyler, you can check him out at Flaming Saddles. He's usually on the weekend. He's usually upstairs at the upper bar.
Yep.
But you can see him on Monday and Wednesday when you do karaoke.
Monday nights.
Monday nights on karaoke
it's the
nights.
Best.
Yes!
It's everything. It's so much fun.
It's a lot of fun. And you can
nights.
see him up on the bar performing. It's a riot. He usually does Tenacious D. So I love it. And it's a blast. But yeah, come check him out. Spend your money. Tip them graciously, and always remember to say hey and come up and have a great time here in the community. My name's Enoch Miller, your Empress of West Hollywood. I want to say thank you again to our sponsors, GayLifeLA.com and White Rabbit Partners here with Clean Treatment Centers. Thank you guys all. We'll check you out next week. We'll have amazing co-show with my show and my best friend's show, Eric Restivo. Listen, sweetie.
Love Eric.
It will be Eric and Marissa, so we're really excited to have them on board, and it's going to be such a fun show. We'll be gossiping about all things, and I'm calling his mom to get dirt. So tune on in. Thank you guys so much for on, and have a great evening. Bye.
Bye. Well done, Enoch. That was awesome.